to the PhD Mommy's Journey podcast with Bridgette Ojo, an educator and scientific researcher who also happens to be your number one fan. This podcast is for millennial mommypreneurs who strive to be the best versions of themselves every single day. If you're a millennial mom interested in learning more about mindset, motherhood, and motivation, then this is the podcast for you.
Oh, hi there, mommypreneur. This is Bridgette Ojo, your bestie who also happens to be your number one fan. I'm an educator who is on a path of becoming better, and I created this podcast for millennial moms just like you. Welcome to another exciting excursion on the PhD Mommy's Journey podcast. For those joining our journey for the first time, this podcast is where we explore mindset, motherhood, and motivation to better the many parts of our lives, whether it's in business, academia, or personal growth. We are all on a relentless pursuit to greatness. For today's episode, we're diving into a new concept, living a better life on your terms. We're looking at how you can take accountability, ownership, and responsibility for the life you live. With this, I have started reading an amazing book by the great clinical psychologist Jordan Peterson, and his book is known as The 12 Rules for Life, an Antidote to Chaos. In the book, Dr. Peterson goes over 12 rules in which he made up to help people live better lives. The first rule is simple yet profound. Stand up straight with your shoulders back. At first glance, this rule might seem purely about physical posture. However, it is so much more than that. Dr. Peterson uses this rule to discuss the significance of adopting a posture that not only communicates strength and confidence to the world, but also to ourselves. I don't know about you, but as a mom, teacher, doctoral student, and everything in between, there are times that I may not feel confident in what I'm doing. There are times that I get stressed, I cry, I get frustrated, and I often wonder if I'm making the right decision. By utilizing this rule, by simply standing up straight with my shoulders back, I have learned how to better face challenges that come my way. So, what does standing up straight with your shoulders back really mean? Let's break it down. As many of you all know, biology is my background. I teach biology, so therefore the concepts and perspectives that I utilize stem from biology. My goal is to help explain abstract concepts in a way that is easily digestible for you to better understand. So when we look at rule number 1, stand up straight with your shoulders back from the biological perspective, Dr. Peterson begins referencing the animal kingdom, particularly lobsters. Now, when I was reading this, I found this reference to be very interesting because one would not necessarily think of lobsters to compare humans with. Usually, they use primates such as monkeys, chimps, apes. That's what research mainly focuses on. However, the behavioral, the physiological, and the anatomical patterns of these crustaceans are very much related to us humans. For example, when lobsters fight, the winner lobster is going to stand tall and the loser lobster is going to cower. These physical postures aren't just reflections of their mood, they actively shape their future behavior and social status. Think about how many times you may have lost small battles. How did you feel? When we relate this to lobsters, the victorious lobsters, standing tall, are more likely to win future conflicts and secure better resources. This is very synonymous with humans. I mean, let's face it, humans, we're not so different. Our posture can influence our mental state and how others perceive us. Standing up straight with your shoulders back is a physical manifestation of confidence and self-assuredness. It's a way of signaling to yourself and others that you're ready to face challenges head on. Let's talk about the psychological impact of this rule. When we adopt a posture of strength, we begin to feel stronger. Think about it like having an S on your chest, like Superman, ready to take on the vast array of challenges we face in life. This posture is also a feedback loop. Dr. Peterson argues that by standing up straight, we can start to change how we feel internally. This isn't just about fooling ourselves into feeling better. It's about genuinely altering our mental state. In biology, a lot of organisms, they do this by a process known as mimicry, where they will change their anatomical structure to mirror that of another animal to ward off predators. This can be seen in milk coral and false coral snakes. Both the harmless milk snake and the deadly coral snake, they are going to mimic the warning signs of the venomous false coral snake. Whenever a predator comes across these snakes, they are going to associate the markings with being venomous, therefore they avoid it. So this idea is supported by research in human psychology. Studies have shown that our body language can influence our emotions and our thoughts. For instance, a 2022 study published in the Cognition and Emotion Journal by Patty Van Cappellen and her colleagues, they found that adopting an expansive and upward posture can significantly enhance positive affect. The researchers, they conducted experiments where their participants adopted different postures and they measured their emotional responses to different types of stimuli, such as emotionally neutral music. They found that participants who adopted expansive and upward postures reported having a greater positive effect compared to those who were in more constrictive or neutral postures. So what this goes to show is that our body language can influence our emotions and our thoughts. And by adopting a more assertive posture, we can actually reduce feelings of stress and anxiety. This is really important for some of us who may be juggling multiple roles and responsibilities. I mean, if you think about it, standing up straight with your shoulders back isn't just about looking confident. It's about becoming confident. As an educator and as a leader, I've seen firsthand how posture can impact my interactions within the classroom and beyond. For example, whenever I am giving a lecture, I like to present myself with confidence. And so when I do that, my students, they respond more positively. And most importantly, I feel more capable to handle the day's challenges. Another example is when I'm at the gym and I'm getting a workout in, I like to stand up straight with confidence. I've personally learned and I've benefited from the habit of just simply standing up with my shoulders back. In leadership, this rule is crucial. Effective leaders will exude confidence not just through their words, but also through their presence. By standing tall, we convey a sense of stability and assurance to those around us. This can be particularly impactful in the educational setting, where our demeanor can influence the learning environment as well as the confidence of our students. So you may be wondering, how can I implement this rule in my daily life? I'm so glad you asked. Here are a few practical tips. First practical tip is to mind your posture. Throughout the day, check in with yourself. See if you are slouching, if your shoulders are back. Making a simple adjustment can actually make a big difference. One tip that I've learned from another book is to visualize a leather bit that is hanging from the frame of every door that you walk through. And in that, you're going to pretend that you are taking a bite on the dental grip, and you're going to let it sweep your cheeks into a smile and lift you up. And the author in the book goes on to say that when you hang by your teeth, every muscle is stretched into perfect posture. And this is going to help your head to be held high, your shoulders are going to be back, your torso's out of your hips, and you feel weightless. And it also works because of the frequency that we walk through doorways. So if you think about it, whenever you're entering or exiting a building, if you visualize anything often enough, it becomes a habit. And so Habitual good posture is the first mark of a big winner. And I will actually talk about that book a little bit later throughout this podcast. The second thing is to build a routine. Now, building a routine requires us to incorporate exercises that improve our posture into a routine. This could be something like yoga, Pilates, strength training. All of these exercises can actually help strengthen the muscles that are needed for good posture. I personally enjoy getting a good workout in the morning at 5 o'clock. And many of you guys know I love Jocko Willink, and so he embraces discipline equaling freedom. And so I believe that this freedom comes from building good habits and developing the right routine to tackle the tasks and objectives of the day. The third practical tip would be a mental rehearsal. Now, before you head into a challenging situation, stop and take a moment to visualize yourself standing tall and confident. This mental rehearsal can prepare you to face a situation with a positive mindset. There are many athletes that utilize the power of visualization. Even if you don't believe it, pretend it and enjoy the game of visualization. You never know where it may take you to this whole new world. The next practical tip would be to have positive affirmations. I believe that it is so important to remind yourself of your strengths and your achievements. By having positive self-talk, this can help reinforce the confidence that you project through your posture. I also believe in saying a little prayer because it helps me to set the tone for the day. And again, I'm not trying to be super religious. Instead, I am just simply sharing what works for me. So rule 1 of Jordan Peterson's 12 rules for life, you're going to stand up straight with your shoulders back. And this is a really powerful reminder of the connection between our physical stance and our mental state. By adopting a posture of confidence, we can influence how we feel, how we are perceived, and ultimately how we can better navigate the complexities of life. As always, my goal for this podcast is to cultivate and foster a strong and powerful community of women who are eager to create a better life full of goals, journeys, and achievements as we share, learn, and most importantly, grow together in this beautiful community. As we gradually close the curtains on today's episode, let's embrace this commitment to ourselves. By standing tall, both physically and mentally, we ensure every step we take is towards our dreams, our aspirations, and our truest selves. This concludes today's episode of the PhD Mommy's Journey podcast. I'm Bridgette Ojo, your partner in this enchanting journey of motherhood, mindset, and motivation, challenging you to stand tall, stride confidently towards your goals, knowing that with every step, you are not alone. However, you are in a community of wonderful moms who are all embarking their own unique, beautiful journeys. Until next time, stay blessed, stay resilient, and most importantly, stay empowered. And I always like to let you know that your posture is a reflection of your inner strength. It is lighting up your path in your own unique journey. If you're on Instagram, feel free to follow me at the PhD Mommy Life for more insights, love, and shared journeys. Thank you for joining me on this episode of the PhD Mommy's Journey podcast. I hope you found this discussion insightful and empowering. Please, please, please remember, stand up tall, both physically and mentally, as you tackle your daily challenges. Until next time, take care and keep striving for balance and growth. Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast and follow me on social media for updates and more inspiring content. See you next time. Bye-bye.